and welcome to another week of the Abusecartoons live stream. This is the late night edition. I'm usually finished streaming by now, but schedule got delayed. I tried to keep it the same day, but yeah, not the same time. So I apologize for anybody that misses it because it was later than usual. But it'll be here on archived, on demand somewhere, either Twitch or YouTube or possibly both. So I hope everyone is doing good. Hey K5, how's it going? Good to see you. And the chat has got to be late or getting quite late for you. But thanks for being here. I have no idea what's going on this week, but we'll just get started. So tomorrow is election day in the U.S. It's funny, there was some big promotion on the Japanese streaming for coverage of the U.S. election, but it was offered by the BBC. So it was BBC coverage. So somebody bought BBC content, like news content, and they were offering the offering coverage of the American elections. That can only be even more bizarre to watch a British news show cover American elections. Whoa, what's going on? Uh-oh. What, the chat just crashed? Restream is not doing well. There we go. Oh, notification. Yeah. You were sleeping peacefully. And then some stupid streaming notification. Out of a dead sleep. Oh, that's cool. Hey, unknown girl. How's it going? Yeah, a little later than usual, but the schedule is working out that way. But I thought I'd give it a try instead of putting it off to another day, because I can't know for sure that there's going to be a better day. So why not? Yeah, so so BBC coverage of the American election night, that should be interesting. Yeah, I used to when I first came to Japan, because CNN was horrible to watch. The international version, the Japanese version of CNN, which is in English, it's just I think a British international version, but they call it CNNJ. But it's not in Japanese. It's subtitled, I think. But it's not really the pre-made programs are. I don't know what that is, but it's really unwatchable. So I thought there'd be some way. So then I started watching the BBC cable channel that they have here, and that's even worse. So yeah, I should have known if that British CNN is bad, the BBC is going to be worse. And I'm surprised the information is still filtered through that whatever censorious, media thing exists, because it was still very biased news. So I think America and England are definitely part of the same cabal, or at least sharing. Well, they are part of that. What do they call that? The 11 Eyes or whatever. The basically America. I think this used to be the case. Maybe it's changed now, because we found out that America, the DHS, is just spying on American citizens now. But it used to be that they would not want to do that, so that they would just share information with foreign spy agencies, foreign government agencies. And so England would get all the information that America had gathered, and England would tell the American government what's going on with their citizens. But I don't think that's even the case anymore. I think they just even gave up that pretense. It's pretty pretty ugly. All right. I don't know why I'm drawing this weird little coffee pod. Oh no. Flat tire for K5. Oh, that sucks. Yeah. That really sucks. Well, it's over now. Monday is behind us in the rear view. So hopefully, yeah, it'll get better. Oh yeah, speaking of Mondays, I just watched. It showed up on for some reason. I guess maybe it's a Fox property, but I just watched Office Space. I hadn't watched that in a long time. So Office Space is on Japanese Disney Plus for whatever reason, and yeah, it's still it holds up okay. Still, it's still like doing okay. There's still the I guess it's more tech jobs and everything though, but there's so much now on the internet of people just like, digging their work and being so into being, whatever their little title is at their little company. But that's, I think, just for Instagram or TikTok or whatever. But yeah, that frustration and kind of despair of I think that was I think Mike Judge is definitely very Gen X in his opinions about stuff, so that was definitely like more my generation's kind of frustration with the a shitty office job. But now I think people are getting more and more numb to it, like that's what it is. And so if you have some organic breakfast prepared for you, then you forget all about how it's just another shitty job that you're working. I think it's LinkedIn and a couple of the big tech companies that are offices that have offices all over. I think this one was Chicago, but some employees were showing off. This is my day, and all they show you is the the massages and relaxation, and they don't show you anything that they actually do, but just all the benefits. And it looked like, of all the things that were being shown off, it looked like LinkedIn in Chicago was pretty a little too luxurious for the shitty job that it is, or the shitty company that it is. Yeah, it made Google look pretty lame, which is funny. I guess though it's very easy to be a corporate minion in your 20s. It's easy to believe in that stuff. If you don't have anything, if you're not rebelling against anything. Oh, cool. Lunar eclipse later tonight. That's cool. Yeah. I forget what I heard. I forget. Like I heard one of the songs from it or something. Something came up like, just randomly on the internet. It reminded me of Office Space. Oh, but then I saw they did a Black Friday Walmart commercial using, what is going on here? Using the some of the actors. So recreated some of the characters and settings, and but instead of Michael Bolton, they had the real Michael Bolton, who is really, really old or just looks pretty bad. So it wasn't I don't know if they got the joke. I mean, the movie calls the real Michael Bolton ass clown or something, so I don't know why he would agree to be in a Office Space themed Walmart commercial, but I'm sure they paid well, so he didn't care. Nobody's going on for Michael, looking for him. It does make it funnier that let me see if that comes up easily. Yeah, because I just watched it on my phone. I really hate that I see things like so randomly like that through like little news posts and stuff, and then yeah, have no idea where they are. Oh yeah, there it is. Yeah, but some people didn't go on to do much of anything after the. Sorry, let me mute this. Um, yeah, after Office Space. There it is. This is just a YouTube link. But it's been a while. That was '90s, right? So yeah, it's been a long time since that was out. Yeah, and I think there's enough. Yeah, things have changed enough in office life that it wouldn't be quite as funny. I wonder if that's the same with The Office, like literally The Office, if they would just kind of run out of. I don't know. I guess there'll always be dreary office jobs, especially in the Midwest. So it's not like everybody is working in tech. Yeah, but those a lot of the actors in Office Space were in Mad TV too. So it made me want to watch a bunch of old Mad TV clips. But the lead actor from Office Space didn't have a huge career after that. I guess he didn't. I'm sure it's just I didn't see any of his movies, but he. I don't remember seeing him until he was like then older. So 99, yeah, wow, that's crazy. Yeah, Ron Livingston. Yeah, because he's pretty charismatic in that movie, so it seems like he would have done a ton of stuff. But maybe Paul Rudd. Oh, he was in a Conjuring movie. Oh, that's funny. Oh, that's. Oh yeah, no, I guess he did more than I thought because he was in Band of Brothers too, adaptation and Band of Brothers. Yeah, he did good stuff. Maybe he just chose better roles than other people. So it was things I didn't see. So yeah, I must have seen him a lot more then. K5 just like the Walmart ad. Oh no, they got you. They won. Uh, but there must be somebody around my age that approved that for Walmart. I thought that was a good idea, or that at the ad company that pitched it to Walmart. No, he's done a ton of stuff, but yeah, I just don't remember seeing him so much. I thought because he had a nice screen presence and he was really funny, so I thought he would do more. That's right, he was in Band of Brothers. That's right. Wow. uh, yeah, we shouldn't, or hopefully that ad doesn't get too much attention. Then someone's going to get the idea to make a sequel. I can just imagine a reboot of Office Space. Yeah, that's the thing too, because that was around the time of the pre 9/11, in the middle of the internet bubble. But it depicted a tech job that was garbage. That where people were miserable, so they weren't part of that boom. Like the startup boom and everything that was happening, where stuff was taking off. It was, banking software and things like that. The boring kind of necessary stuff. And they even mention, I think they even reference Y2K. That's why they think they can get away with their Superman, Superman 4, Superman 3 scam, is because all the changeover that they're doing for the Y2K. Right. So maybe some kind of coffee filter. Yeah, well, hope everyone is doing good. It's good to see you guys on the line. Yeah, it's just been harder and harder to do stuff recently. I don't know what's going on. I thought usually fall is a good time. I don't know why. I feel like more creative and more motivated in the fall than in the springtime. And it felt really nice this year because to finally get a break in that terrible humid weather that is Japanese summer. But yeah, it's just, I don't know, just stuck. A lot of things that I should have gotten done that I haven't. So yeah, it's very, very frustrating. I don't have that boost anymore. I think just like, I don't know, your feedback loops, whatever that thing is that, motivates you or makes you look forward to things, that just gets kind of worn out. Whatever those like chemical receptors or whatever those, hormones or mechanisms or whatever that like, oh yeah, I want to do that. You get some kind of weird positive feedback. Your brain just stops. Yeah. Oh yeah, that would be hysterical. K5 if they did the exact same thing. They're like, oh yeah, that's 1,000 years away. We don't have to worry about that. And we still have some like underlying technology that they didn't think. We'll never need threes. So yeah, yeah. I think it's just because software was so new, and also the way I explained to everybody this way, but the way that it was explained to me is that because software was so space was so small, like memory and hard drives and everything, like software needed to be as compact as possible. Actual like bit size of what they were writing to run this stuff, because there was they were very low end small memory machines. So taking away those 2 digits out of that date in the code actually had a huge effect on how large the software was. So they just did that as a kind of space saving thing. It wasn't that they thought things would be so different in 20 years or 30 years or whatever, but it was a space saving thing. But it was very short sighted. They should have known that soon things would catch up size wise. That was a nice non-technical explanation. All right, this is supposed to look like a filter, so maybe no handle or anything. Yeah, I don't know what I'm drawing. Yeah, we'll run into something else, I'm sure, that they never accounted for. Well, there's going to be it'll kind of be like going the next step of like personal technology, like whatever's after smartphones, is probably going to be resisted pretty hard. Unless there's a real like economic and political reason to move away from LED screens or LCD screens. The next step is going to be weird. They're going to fight it like Detroit fought the electric car, or the oil companies fight electric cars, because it's got to be something weirdly wearable or something odd. I don't know though. They haven't come up with anything better than a keyboard and a mouse for input on a computer. So yeah, maybe there won't be anything better than that black mirror that we carry around. Yeah, it'll have to be a big evolution. Yeah, I think they'll probably want to push something like that. That was the strange thing. Those those glasses, like to always have, we do always have a camera with us, on our smartphones, but to have a camera that's a kind of head mounted that you can have on or off and people don't really know, that was the thing that, because I remember right away when those Google glasses were like out in the wild, it wasn't made with those glasses, but they, that was a theme of porn and everything. Like everyone immediately thought of the worst possible uses for, and they had to ban them in strip clubs and things because people would be wearing their Google glasses in a strip club. It's a good way to collect blackmail. That's a good side hustle. Is just always have a camera on and just collect random blackmail on random strangers. All right. Yeah. What? Maybe like a bag of coffee. What? I don't want to do weird gourmet coffee jokes or whatever. All right. But yeah. All I know is it's going to be probably torture. Whatever is next, I'm going to be too old to be able to enjoy it. I can't even imagine. That's what I was thinking. Is my eyes are not, great, and I was thinking about what it must be like to see like an 8K television with like really well functioning eyes, like with a kid's brand new eyes. Or maybe it's just too much. Maybe it's like too intense. It like burns your newly grown retinas. But yeah, it feels like I'm not able to appreciate it as much. So it'll be the same as whatever the next, kind of display or input type thing is. My fingers won't move very well, or my eyes will be too slow. That's the thing they can't do. It's going to be weird if they do eye tracking and different things like that, because they have to keep, they have to take into account, aging and everything, because you won't be able to put in your, if you have to do like an eye gesture or something, like move your eyes in a certain way. I can imagine some people not being able to do anything interacting. Oh yeah, that's right. Thanksgiving or political cupcakes. Yeah, yes, I've done a couple of like lame ass 2-party jokes. Yeah, maybe I should do like a 2-party, because people keep asking me that here. Yeah, America's like weird 2-party system, and why we stick to that. I don't know. I guess because it's always your turn, right? Your turn is always coming up. If there's only 2 parties, then it's either you or not you, and it's coming back around. Yeah. So that's really going to suck too. Depending on how the midterm elections go, then we're just going to have 2 years of the American government doing nothing, just like completely frozen and not able to. And that might be weird timing, because there's going to be a lot of kind of what's that called? There's going to be a lot of people looking for justice and people seeking vengeance and things that about stuff that happened to them from the pandemic and the lockdowns and things, and to have a government that's unable to do anything about that, or to to move in any way, to make any laws, is going to be pretty bad timing. Maybe good for the drug companies. But yeah, I just wonder what that's going to be. But yeah, the timing probably is going to be not great. If the reckoning, that's the word I was looking for. If a reckoning is coming for how people were treated during lockdowns and losing their jobs, and all the inaccurate information. Yeah. So I'm drawing what? Pie pans and coffee. Coffee pots. Yeah, political cupcakes. So, yeah, what's another good thing there's 2 of that doesn't, we don't know why there has to be 2, and it doesn't function very well. um, yeah, I'm not going to be able to come up with anything very clever. What's a two? What's two? Like something on a like a seesaw or something imbalanced. Huh. Yeah, I can't. Scales or something that's two. Oh, my relationships. Nice, K5. Very good. uh, nice. Okay, so maybe this can be, if I do ice cubes in this cup, it can be, oh, that was fine. Oh, come on. There. There's a small amount of ice, maybe one more. There we go. Oh, I watched the that German production of All Quiet on the Western Front on Netflix. That's really good. If you like war movies, and especially World War One, which is for me, it seems particularly brutal. I don't know. There's like some, and maybe it's just because there's some, you know, heroism. There's some weird heroism, and the way that they portray World War II, good guys versus the bad guys, and all that kind of stuff. But First World War is much less like that. So everybody involved is, being exploited and just used for the purpose of the ruling class. But it's really, yeah, really well done, really beautiful. There's some amazing scenes and very unique soundtrack. The sound is they do some kind of synthetic kind of digital music that is interesting. I'm not sure how it's produced, but it's very different from other war soundtracks. But they do an interesting thing. I don't know. I hope I didn't talk about this last week, but they do an interesting thing with like the color grading on it. So the reds are super saturated, and so also the soldiers' faces. So a lot of the times with war movies, you get that monotone thing where it almost looks like it's a black and white movie, even though it's in color, like Saving Private Ryan and stuff. Everything is just desaturated, so it kind of looks like an old photo or whatever. That's usually how they color grade stuff. But this, the reds and purples and things are really vibrant, so that the soldiers' faces really stand out. Any flesh, stands out, unless it's like covered with dirt or whatever. So they're really able to take, like, especially the young new soldiers are very pink and fresh looking, and the the soldiers that have been there, been on the front lines, are looking very different, very affected. So they use that visual thing a lot, and there's a lot of like mud caked on faces and stuff that kind of seems like they're using it a little more symbolically than movies usually do. But yeah, it's really, really well done. And there's English dub as well if you don't want to listen to German, because this is the point of view of the German soldiers, the young optimistic young German recruits that think, oh, we're going to go all the way to Paris and this is going to be great, we're going to be heroes, and then the reality sets in pretty fast. And it's kind of small in that way too, because it's just a group of friends that eventually are one by one don't go home. Oh, and there's an interesting, and maybe that happens in the book too, there's an interesting cyclical part of it. It starts out showing you this kind of like, meat grinder cycle of war, where the first thing that they do with the dead bodies, of course, they take the dog tag, but then they also strip off the uniform, like the coats and the boots, or maybe just they just show the coats. So they strip off the heavy coats, and they bundle those up and ship them back, and then clean them and repair them, and then give them to new soldiers. So there's that, the soldiers, the characters you meet are already in this cycle of kind of the war chewing them up. But then the story has scenes that kind of bookend the whole thing. You'll see familiar scenes, so it feels like there's just this never ending thing, and eventually you get the release. You get the the release of the peace agreement. So the war ends in the film, but the whole time it's giving you these images of just this just goes on forever, and if it's just going to be somebody else, if it's not the character it's just going to be somebody else doing this job. All right. But yeah, very very visually beautiful, some interesting art direction and shot composition and stuff. Good stuff. Intense though. I mean, if you don't like war movies, I wouldn't recommend it because it's pretty intense. But for that type of film, it was very well done. Yeah, and so somebody I heard talking about it said it's a nice companion piece to 1917, that film that came out earlier that takes the perspective of the British side, and that movie though they're trying to the little bit of a gimmick of that movie is they're trying to shoot it all as one shot, so they hide their edits and things, and it's just like the camera following them across the front lines. But it's similar. And interesting, having those two pieces. It's similar tone, but just a different approach, I think, and different. I mean, I don't know if 1917 was based on a book or if it's an original screenplay, but I think I don't remember the older actors. But I think Mark Hamill was in the. If there was a Hollywood or British or Hollywood remake of All Quiet. Yeah, because I remember a scene with Mark Hamill. Yeah, so film adaptations. 1930? What? The original? Oh, no, maybe I'm thinking it must be a different movie then. What's the war movie with Mark Hamill? That's not All Quiet on the Western Front. Because I don't think he was around in... So, wow, they did... In 1930, they did a version of it as well. Oh, maybe TV? Yeah, the TV version. That's right. So, 79. That's what it is. Yeah, so, of course, it's Mark Hamill. It's a TV movie. His career didn't go crazy after Star Wars. Yeah, the TV movie with Ernest Borgnine is the one I'm thinking of. Yeah, I wonder how that stands up, because they must not have had any sort of budget. Yeah, I think it's... Yeah, because I just remember the scene where he's going into a room, the room with a bunch of dead soldiers. They took their gas masks off too early or something, so it's just a room, just a pile of dead soldiers. That's the only scene that I can think of. Yeah, so 79 CBS television movie. With featuring Luke Skywalker. I think he's got just a little bit part. Nice. So that and Corvette Summer. His big standout roles. Come on, don't make me a liar. He's definitely in it, right? What is that? I think it is. Yeah, Ernest Borgnine and so Ernest Borgnine plays Cat. Oh man, this sucks. Anyhow, what's his filmography? It must have been a different. Okay, so it's got to be in the 70s. Bum, bum, bum. Oh, come on. I thought that was Mark Hamill. I guess it's not. Because around that time, he's just doing Corvette Summer, the night the lights went out in Georgia. Oh, man. That's not Mark Hamill. Yeah, I guess it's not. I don't know who it was. He was in the big red one. Oh, okay. Maybe I'm getting him confused. But Ernest Borgnine, this is a Sam Fuller movie, yeah, right? But Lee Marvin is in that. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know what I'm talking about. So obviously that's not Mark Hamill. Mark Hamill was only in the big red one. Yeah. So I know this is fascinating. What war movies has Mark Hamill been in? And that's World War II. Ah. Oh, it sucks. My memories are all getting blended together. I think I'm out of space, and basically things are just like overwriting and sharing the same memory place. The big red one, yeah, interesting. Yeah, there's some movie, something about like movies or whatever that shows that scene where he's creeping into that bunker. I thought that was All Quiet. I hate that too. Yeah, you talk about it, or like a name, like you'll have a name in your head, and you'll put a name and a face together that don't match at all. Like, no, that's this guy's name. No, no, that's something totally different. Uh, yeah, but there's some scene, yeah, from the big red one that they famously reference. I think this is just Sam Fuller. Yeah, something like that. But I knew he was in a war movie. I just had the wrong era and everything. Well, that's funny. Or maybe it was. It's weird because they're kind of like actors from that same generation. I think I saw them on a talk show together once, and it totally like messed up my brain because they're the same generation of kind of young actors. Yes, Richard Thomas. God damn, yeah. So no one's gonna know this reference, but John Boy Walton. So Richard Thomas is in the TV movie version. Of course, he is because he's a TV actor. TV movie version of All Quiet on the Western Front. So I saw them on a talk show together right when Star Wars was out and the Waltons was popular on television. And they're the same kind of guy. They're almost like a Will Wheaton kind of guy. They have that weird. So Mark Hamill, Richard Thomas, and Will Wheaton all have that same weird energy where they started acting maybe a little too young and they're a little like weirdly precocious. So they're like always on and they talk a little too. It's like like a 7-year-old kid pretending to be an adult. It's kind of annoying. So I saw them on a talk show together, like Merv Griffin or one of the old 70s talk shows, and I think I switched switched them in a few of those 70s movie roles. So that's the scene that I'm thinking of, and it's so Richard Thomas, and they're just that same kind of sandy blonde haired, not indistinct non-distinct white guy, white kid. But yeah, when I saw them both and they're both doing that same thing, so that was the funny thing when you see those interviews of like maybe they did more TV for the sequel for Empire Strikes Back, but Harrison Ford is got his same atmosphere, just very laid back and whatever, like doesn't give a shit kind of atmosphere. Mark Hamill's just so fucking happy to be there, and he's just like bouncing around. He's over gesticulating, and he's just like just calm down, kid. And Carrie Fisher is just like an old soul. She's just like way older than her age, and or maybe just very sedated on barbiturates, but she was so he stands out. So if like the three of them did interviews or appeared together, yeah, Mark Hamill always stood out as the guy that was so happy to be there. And yeah, there's a lot of those, a lot of those young actors that came up in the 70s and 80s. And a lot of them ended up on the Goonies. All right, so what am I doing here? Something that, yeah, two things that don't go well together or aren't balanced. Oh, I can't put any detail low because I don't know. So sorry, a weird 70s war film rabbit hole. Yeah, now I'm really curious about the TV movie version of that. Yeah, because it can't be very well done, low budget. Oh, Pocky Day, yeah. it's, it's just a weird promotion. So that stick snack, the cookie stick snack that's always like dipped in chocolate or some variety of chocolate. So they're promoting at all the convenience stores, and I've even seen like big ads and TV commercials and stuff too. So November 11th, so 1111 is Pocky Day because all of the digits are ones, so they're in the shape of the snack. So yeah, this will be the closest. I have some around. Maybe we'll do some Pocky on the convenience store segment because it'll be past. Pocky Day will be over, but that Japanese snack. So just to promote it, the convenience stores and a lot of stores now will have like many kinds, and maybe they'll make a special one for this year for that day. But because all the ones, the date is all ones, the day and the month, it's they've declared it Pocky Day. It's not a bank holiday or anything. They're just a way to promote. They're just trying to promote, and they do that too. They make Japan does that thing where they make a sound of everything, where they like things to have a sound. So you'll see like 1-800 numbers from for businesses, and the way they choose them is how you would say them or how you could say them. And there's different ways to say some numbers and different kind of sounds that when you put them together, they sound like other words or sound like a cat or a dog, whatever. So it's very odd. So without any knowledge of some of the Japanese number sounds, their choice of toll-free numbers is always very mysterious for businesses. But yeah, it's funny. So it's just one of those things. And so, for example, Pocky Day is also like national, like they promote it as the dog day too, like a day for dogs, because dogs in Japanese say wan, like WAN, wan 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 is how a dog barks, instead of like the French. In French, it's something different, and German, it's something different. So a dog barking sound in Japanese is wan. So like one, so one is like wan wan wan. It's like a dog barking. So that's also your pet dog day. Yeah. So Pocky is they're trying to get in on a dog holiday, I guess. All right. So two things. So stereo speakers. Yeah, two-party system, two things that don't work. Yeah, I think I'll do some kind of coffee ice and hot coffee thing. And maybe this. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah. Oh, that's fun. Yeah, big band-aids and big, yeah. That's right. All kinds of different size band-aids. Yeah, I like that. I like that kind of injury. I've done a few band-aid jokes, so I like that. Yeah, that idea of like different types of injuries, mental or physical. All right. Yeah, I think all this stuff at the top here I'll keep together. And where's this? Okay, so... Oh no, I need the move tool. Oh, cool. All right. So we'll keep these together. Actually, I can just drag them over. It's funny, with some things in Photoshop, I've just given up trying to find a more efficient way to do them, but they have like fixed things or added things to Photoshop to make it work a little bit better, but I haven't figured any of those things out. Okay, so let's, come on. Stop. There we go. Jesus, what is going on here? Must have selected something. Yeah, there we go. Okay. It's not letting me... Weird. Yeah, so I kind of want... These should be opposed to each other. So hot or iced coffee. What the fuck is going on? And then the pot can be... Yeah, something must have gotten turned off or whatever. That option where you can just select something. So... The filter... Does that fit? Yeah, that kind of works. Yeah, that's weird. Something got turned off, so now I have to have the layer selected for it to work. All right, so hot or iced. I guess that's kind of a opposition, but it doesn't. I don't think it works for. Yeah. Oh yeah. There it is. That's why. Jesus. Yeah. Sorry. This is really frustrating. I don't. It's doing something really odd. So it won't let me. Oh, maybe it's if it's a different tool. Yeah, right. Okay. If I'm on the move tool, it works totally different. That's weird. That's why I never select the move tool, because it's a bunch of useless commands. There we go. Okay. Yeah. So the hot or iced coffee dilemma. I don't think that's gonna work very well. But then we can shut all these off. Yeah, that's really weird, depending on what tool. So that's another context thing that they changed. Yeah, I definitely need to. Yeah, I noticed, though, I really don't like the, like Adobe, if you watch like their official, kind of tips or whatever, like how to do stuff, they have this whole kind of workflow and everything that's really annoying and really not very practical or usable, but they do it so that it kind of, embeds you more in their little ecosystem. But yeah, there's some ways that when they're demonstrating like new features and things for Adobe updates, I'm like, that's insane. I would never use that, or that's completely useless, because I have a weird way. It's especially apparent with like anything for web building, like Dreamweaver and all their website building stuff. That's horrible. And some of the ways that they want you to use like Premiere and After Effects to get use of some of the options. Like you can literally, if you do multi-camera stuff, which I've contemplated doing more of that, but it's really time consuming. But you can assign different camera angles. So you record all this video, then you bring it in and put it on separate video tracks. And then you can watch the video and just kind of switch between camera views just by hitting number keys. And it'll cut the shots for you, basically. So it's just like having a control room for like live television. You can snap between the cameras as you're editing, and then it gives you markers that the software can then edit the video based on. But to get that set up, is so ridiculous. Like the process of doing that is so clumsy and unintuitive, and yeah, so it's a little frustrating. The way they demonstrate some of that stuff, there should just be a more straightforward way, but they want you to yeah, go through their their weird method. So some of that stuff is really frustrating. That's why I've never gotten very good at After Effects or anything, because there's so many of these like strange Adobe ways of doing things that After Effects does. That it's the same thing with 3D too. To get really good at one of the 3D applications like Maya or 3D Studio Max or something, you have to just follow this whole workflow kind of mindset, and if you don't, then you can make a lot of mistakes or create a lot of problems for you in the future. You kind of limit what you can do. It limits what you can do with stuff. I don't know. Yeah, ice than hot. Yes, scarier than hot. Oh yeah, yeah. Yes, in so many languages. Yeah, it sounds like it's the same. Every dog all over the world barks the same sound, right? It's the same noise they're making, but different languages. I guess because how they want it to sound in the language, like they want it to sound cuter or rougher or whatever. Yeah, they use different words for it. But yeah, the different words of barking dog, cows, dogs, and cats is pretty funny. All right. Yeah, I think in English, like all English-speaking countries, pretty much have the same default sounds. But yeah, once you get into other languages, it starts to get a little crazy. All right, so two things that are not balanced, that are out of control. Or you just do two things falling. Two things kind of in free fall that can be our... let's see here. Nothing. Yeah, what's something that's funny falling? Oh. That's funny. People remembering what dogs or imitating dogs. All right. Something coming down. Yeah, I don't know. Well, how about an apple pie joke? Let's see if I can do something that looks like a pie. Oh wait, so we'd have the crust start here. Oh, keep this thinner. That's a crazy looking pie. All right. And then just do one. Gotta stick to that same kind of angle. A piece of pie. Something better here. Yeah. All right. Midterm elections, as American as apple pie. That's a wonky looking pie, isn't it? It's kind of falling down a little bit. So I don't know how you would actually have a pie not in a pie pan. But that's what happened. Be a little bit bigger on the piece. Yeah, actually. Yeah, just a little. An apple pie joke. Yikes. All right, something like that. Although it's just totally out of out of the pan. But if I draw it in the pie pan, it'll look even more bizarre. Maybe less identifiable. Let's see if this looks maybe too fleshy. No, that's kind of the color. And the apple. Yeah, it's kind of, yeah, like that. And then there's some highlights. I think that will work. And then a brighter part for the kind of apples. Apples, apples, apples. Oh, but yeah, it should be fine. All right, let's do some like browning on the top of the. Where is that tool? Oh, here. Dodge and burn. So maybe, well, I made a new layer of this, so let's try to get a little bit of toastiness on the top of it. So it looks more pie-like. Yeah, so that it's cooked, not just dirty. So maybe mostly the crust. There we go. A slightly browned apple pie. Okay, and then shadows will help that too. Give the, if I can fix some of the wonkiness. Nice. Put off voting till the last minute. Excellent. How you doing, Yum? All right. So try to make this look a little bit more three-dimensional. Maybe. Let's try some little bit of highlight too. Just to pick out that edge of the crust. Oh, and maybe the pie filling. Yeah, I don't think I've got the right color, but it's close. Very yellow apples. All right, and then some. I don't know. It's looking very weird and lumpy. One of those cartoons that will definitely be criticized for its wonkiness. I don't know. These eyes looking kind of there. I don't know. A weird apple pie joke. Maybe there's some bottom of the pie too would have a little bit of. Oh wait, this one have a little bit of color, just to make it look less monotone. There we go. Apple pie, apple pie. Oh no. Somebody's following you back on Twitter. Oh my god. Yeah, I rarely look at whatever it's called, the notifications or whatever on Twitter. So I have no idea. I'm really bad at all of the Twitter accounts. I never, interact or reply or anything. It's just like just a repository for my auto updates or my notifications for when I post different stuff. But yeah, I saw somebody was on there. Yeah, but who knows? Who knows what the fate of Twitter is going to be? It sounds like it could be a mess. All right, so let's try to color these. And all the glass just white as a base. And then maybe like a earthenware kind of looking mug, or that weird brown. Might work. That's not it. What am I? Maybe warmer? Oh yeah, there. Something warmer like that. That's too dark though. Yeah, I'm amazed. Some people in Japan can really generate. I think I've told this before, but I was surprised at some of the shows. The people that generate all of their fans or interact and kind of cultivate a fan base on Twitter. Then when they go to shows, they're only there for a couple of hours because they, tell everyone we're going to be at this show. We're only going to be here from this time to this time. So you get this big rush and big lines at certain booths and tables and stuff. It's a really good way to kind of efficiently deal with promotion and handle stuff much more easily instead of just waiting around for people to find you. A little darker. There we go. I'm specifically, I turned on all notifications for Yum. I have to see every annoying post. And I told Twitter, the more annoying, the better. There we go. Yeah, that weird kind of, it's supposed to be plasticky kind of thing. And the ice cubes, we'll do some blue maybe. Just so they have a different look. Ah, no. Where's the color? There it is. Okay, what's going on? No, I don't want to. Not doing great with the shortcuts tonight. All right, so then I can make this. There we go. A little bit lighter, and then put some coffee in the coffee pot. So find a good coffee color. All right. Oh. There we go. I think that works. I'm getting a weird glare like right there on the monitor so I can't see. There we go. That looks kind of like there's coffee-like liquid in there. Yeah, I don't want to go any lighter because then it'll look too much like tea. Oh, wow. Unknown girl catching up with some family. Yeah, I got to do that with lockdown and everything. I'm way behind. I'm way behind meeting with anybody because none of them are here. Yeah, I've seen plenty of my Japanese family. But, yeah, only phone calls and a few, kind of Skype or Zoom calls with American family. So, very, very delinquent. All right. So, let's just do all of this. Okay. Yeah, it's pretty good. So maybe the ice cubes have little shadows too. Ice cube shadows. Oh no, there's not going to be. I gotta color those lines. There's no way you're going to be able to see. Boom. You're not going to be able to see the eyes on all that black line. And it's connected. Okay, let's see how this goes. So just do a new layer and then erase everything that fucks up. Yeah, kind of. Of course, it's everything. Yeah, so keep this lighter. There's a better way to do that, I'm sure. Less manual. Okay, so the eyes should be visible on that. All right. Yeah, it's funny. There's people I've known a long time, or friends that I have in Japan, that are on social media, and they've like followed me at some time, and I didn't follow back at the time. Like it's a lot of Instagram and stuff. So then when you do at a later point, it's very noticeable, and it kind of brings up the question: what took you so long? I've been reading your stupid posts, and you haven't seen any of mine. So that's very funny. The new weird etiquette that is generated by all that stuff. But yeah, there's a couple of a couple of people I know pretty well that I haven't followed back on social media. Just like, and it's just because I don't read or interact, so it's kind of, I guess it's it's more of a gesture. I am not on often enough that I won't do much interacting, so it's not like they're even going to notice. But it's funny that it gets to the point. Facebook is like that too, or was like that when people cared about Facebook. But someone would send you a friend request, and then months later you would accept it. What's the hold up there? I don't know. All right. Oh, yeah, maybe something here to make the glass stand out. Okay, maybe. Oh, should I do, just as kind of a weird leaking joke, and so you can understand that this is supposed to be a filter. Some, coffee leaking out. All right, and then it could use some, shadow. Oh, wait. Wrong color. Okay. Oh yeah, the holiday. Yeah, there's a lot of yeah, we haven't traveled back. We used to. Oh, back when plane tickets were much more reasonable between the U.S. and Asia. We used to go back a lot for holidays because Christmas in the U.S. is so nice, and Christmas here is so kind of fake and not really celebrated. So it's kind of depressing. So it was nice to have Christmas in the U.S., like kind of Thanksgiving, Christmas season in the U.S., and then New Year's here in Japan. So we were able to do that a couple of times, but it's not. It's insanely unaffordable, especially now. Geez, the yen is so weak, and the ticket prices are out of control from Japan if you book them from Japan. Okay, something like that. Yeah, it's not great color-wise, but I'll be getting in touch. Yeah, my parents' birthdays are in October, so I was able to get in touch recently. You have a good excuse. Yeah, and I don't think I'm going to be retiring anytime soon. And not based on anything financial, just based on I don't want to stop doing something. I guess when you're working for a company and you're feel like your time isn't your own, and then to suddenly be able to do whatever you want and be old and in pain. But yeah, it sounds like both of my parents are enjoying being retired. They're getting very bored and looking for something to do, and maybe thinking too much about mortality and stuff. So it's pretty funny, the reactions. But yeah, I think the 9 to 5 thing does make it much more like, oh, it'd be great when this is over and I actually have my own and more control over your life. But it seems like, or I've always thought that if you want to travel and do stuff, just do it while you're young. Just try to take breaks and do stuff like that when you're young, because when you're old, you're not going to enjoy it. And traveling and eating foreign food and sleeping in uncomfortable beds and stuff is much easier when you're young. When you're old, it's just painful. So seeing like older couples traveling, it's like, is that really the best time? I don't know. It just feels like you're not able to enjoy it, and then you have it as a memory when you're older, as opposed to making memories that you're only going to have for 20 years. And if your short-term memory goes bad, then you won't even remember. Where did we go? Yeah, I don't know. I always thought that's weird, traveling when you're older, because it's hard, much harder. Okay. Yeah, I think that's stuff. Maybe the coffee is frowning. How does that look? Yeah. The hot or ice. Well, I didn't come up with a good political joke. Maybe the apple pie. Maybe I'll think of something great with apple pie. All right. So let's see. Yeah, I'm gonna miss. I always haven't had a good holiday dinner, like a American style holiday dinner, in a long time. Let's switch over to the comments. There we are. Oh, that's good. I guess if you're healthy, it's not a big deal. I just, seem to get grumpier and grumpier, not wanting to go through the hassle of it. Oh, interesting. Oh, that's interesting. Wow, yeah, I didn't know that. Yeah, so uh, a strict grandmother made it harder to, harder to be together for the holidays. That makes sense too. Wow, interesting. Yeah, I mean, definitely, if you can appreciate, if you can enjoy it, I think it's worth. I just am starting to feel like, I don't, getting just more and more settled. I mean, there's still places I'd like to visit, and I'm not, I'm not retirement age yet, thank God. But yeah, it still feels like, I like the fact that I got to do something when I was younger. All right, so comments. Enough of this. So back to time traveling back to December 2006. So we did this one, last week. The first anticipation, that's spelled correctly. The anticipation of the holiday season was most unbearable for the wrapping paper. I guess, yeah. I always had like funny family stuff where people were like literally wrapping presents like right before they were opened, because like bigger family get-togethers, there's always like, oh, I didn't know they were going to be here. I didn't know I had to have these wrapped. I thought we were going to see them next week, or all that kind of scheduling stuff. So I remember a lot of things being wrapped right before they were open. So literally taped together and then pulled apart like minutes later. All right. So this is going to be a lot of Christmas, I think. I think this was the year I made my Christmas book, or this is the source of my Christmas book. So I think I made it the next year. I don't remember. I'll have to look at the little date on it. No one, not even Fruitcake himself, liked fruitcake. Fruitcake jokes, yeah. Those were big in vaudeville. Once his tag was lost, he felt more like general charity than a gift. Yeah, there's going to be a lot. Look at my weird ribbons, Christmas ribbons. All right. Yeah, this is going to be a lot of Christmas. Well, happy holidays, everybody. He couldn't help feeling like just a glorified sock. Poor Christmas stocking. There we go. They gave up trying to convince him that there were worse ways to spend the holidays. So a broken glass Christmas bulb. Yeah, that was we had I think they were very old, but in the old is in from the 70s. So those glass, very breakable Christmas bulbs, they're really pretty, but every year one got broken. So the number of them grew less and less and less. And I think once it came down to just a couple, I think we stopped using them. But yeah, we were little kids, and always one of us got too excited or too enthusiastic and dropped one of those, or hung it on something that wasn't so secure, so it fell off, and we always broke those glass ornaments. There we go. A month atop a pine tree was not worth 11 in a box. Okay. A Christmas, that's a pretty minimal drawing there. A Christmas tree top. Here we go. The missing milk and bitten cookie were thought-provoking, but hardly proof of anything. All right. Yeah, I think we talked last week about, I found out that in England you leave alcohol out for Santa, which is a nice move. So you don't have to drink room temperature milk. All right. So December 8th, nothing about stringing popcorn sounded like a good idea. Yeah, I remember one year, when I was a very little kid, we were stringing popcorn, and to get it to stay on the thread, you have to kind of go through the thickest part, kind of that where whatever that skin is left from the kernel of the corn. And I was doing this over and over again. I put so many holes in my index finger. I remember having so many puncture wounds on my index finger that Christmas. It was horrible and painful. And anytime you come into contact, soap or lemon juice or whatever, that was weird. I should have. I guess I should have figured out the purpose of thimbles after that. I guess thimbles make a lot of sense. But yeah, zero instruction, like everything else in my life. Just figure it out. And I punched a bunch of holes in my fingers. So December 9th, lacking a festive shape, the sugar cookie felt left out. He's just round. Yeah, they're kind of like light bulbs. Those Yum said he always wanted to smash one of those Christmas ornaments. They're very satisfying because they're like light bulbs. They have a pop. You get a little bit of a pop when they break. They're not vacuum sealed or anything, but just maybe the shape of it. It's a very satisfying sound, but it's very sad because there's no way to fix them. All right. So smashing pumpkins and breaking ornaments. December 10th, his hidden pacifist stance and melting protest startled the other snowballs. Melting protest. Instead of starvation, instead of hunger strikes. Getting involved with a coworker over the holidays always turned out badly. Yeah. Oh, okay. So the pom-pom, the little pom-pom on top of the Santa hat and the Santa hat somehow were involved. We don't want to know what that looked like. All right. Yeah, I guess it's like a holiday party joke. But they're coworkers. They work on the same hat. I don't know. I don't know what I was thinking. Gift of alcohol always added a certain unpredictable drama to holiday family gatherings. Drunk family members. Yeah, make sure the text is coming up. Yeah, lots of Christmas. Yeah, I think I said this December I'm just going to do the whole year, just Christmas jokes. So it is. The book itself was only 12. I think I took like the best 12 of them. But yeah, I did a bunch of goofy holiday jokes. The tension grew once all other holiday cookies were eaten. Okay. All right. December 14th, gingerbread houses resented not having any real property value. But they had little gumdrops. Look at that. Oh, here we go. This has been the cover of my website forever. This is my favorite holiday cartoon. The only thing that held the group together proved to be somewhat unreliable. So a snowman face just melted in a puddle with a hat. All right. Oh, the ornaments clung to the branch, not quite sure at what point they should stop being festive. Yeah, the broken pine branch. Fruit was always uncomfortable with being given as a gift. Yeah, yeah. I remember as a kid. I don't know if it's as common, but yeah, just giving like fruit baskets and things were kind of a Christmas thing. And I think anybody that retired to Florida or whatever, that's the kind of stuff they would send up. Baskets of oranges and things. In his now unwrapped state, the gift felt vulnerable and unwanted. Right. More bulbs. Yeah, this is the the old school colored. Yeah, now they've got the LED bulbs are so they're low heat and they're so you can they're cheap and there's so many more of them. They use less electricity, so you don't have to do that thing where that was the first part of the Christmas ritual is you get the string of electric lights out, and in the course of I don't know how, like one of the light bulbs would burn out, and if one of them burn out, then it would stop the or no, if the one was missing, then the circuit would be broken, so the rest of them wouldn't light. So you had to go through and like flick the light bulbs and make sure they are seated well. And now this one's out, so change them out. And you wanted to alternate the colors and everything, so it is a big box of new light bulbs. And is there any more green or there's no more blue left? So that was the first thing we did is like check all the strings of lights. And now people wouldn't even think about that because most of the lighting is all LED. But you had to like manually go through, make sure all the lights were working. It became obvious that there should be more ways to judge light bulbs than purely their ability to light up. Yeah, that was the funny thing is checking the strings of lights. Oh, well, here's kind of Christmas related. Mm-mm. Oh, thanks. Yeah, the gingerbread house. All right. Oh yeah, lunar eclipse. K5 is talking. Sorry. December 20th. Well, we're almost out of December. That was quick. Video game cartridges of Christmases past gloomily awaited further obsolescence, but now they're retro. Yeah, I've heard that now. Old game systems and stuff. I think because of the internet and auction sites and stuff, people have bought them up. They're not like just hanging around in flea markets and charity shops and stuff. So now they're becoming less common and much more expensive. Christmas cards from credit card companies were the lowest form of seasonal greeting. Yeah, I remember that getting a couple of like weird bank and credit card company Christmas cards, and they would make them look like they were actually from somebody. Like they would, uh, be a Christmas card, just not like a generic postcard or something. That's very weird. And so you spend time opening cards, and you open one, it's like, oh, from the First National Bank. Okay, whatever. And not even signed by a person. All right, December 22nd, eggnog without alcohol was about one ingredient away from being pancake batter. Very close. Yes, eggnog. I think import shops do carry eggnog here during the holidays. Being a holiday sweater was one thing, but being a holiday pet sweater was quite another. A tiny dog sweater. Or cat, maybe it's a cat sweater. But something is shedding. Yeah, everything is so small. The scale of everything is so tiny. Once emptied of chocolate candies, his candy cane shape felt even more ridiculous. You used to get those a lot. I think they were M&Ms usually, or maybe they weren't like store brand M&Ms, but they had like a clear plastic tube with a little red topper on it. And yeah, I think they weren't real M&Ms. They were kind of just cheap, generic. Yes. Uh, oh, Christmas Day, December 25th. During the holidays, mistletoe took comfort in the fact that she was poisonous if eaten. So resented all the kissing. I think we had some artificial, like some fake mistletoe that popped up every. Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen real mistletoe. It's always been just like this weird, like fake plastic flower recreation. All right. So December 26th, unopened the day after Christmas, was gift purgatory. Oh, nice. Nice. Yeah. Yeah. Christmas candy. There's some Good stuff. Christmas cookies, though. Oh, get out of here. Yeah, homemade Christmas cookies. That's the best. I like in like small towns and people that have come from small towns that are transplants. They have their Christmas cookie, like the one they're good at making or the one they like to make every year. So, my mother always made candy cane cookies. So they're just a sugar cookie, but you twisted it. So you did sugar cookie dough, split it in half, colored one half red, left the other one sugar cookie colored, and then rolled it out and then twisted them and then sprinkled on top. So they would just be kind of a mediocre sugar cookie, but you sprinkled on top crushed candy canes. So, after they came out of the oven and they were still, kind of sticky and whatever, you sprinkled candy canes over that. That was good, especially if you got kind of a big chunk of candy on those. That was a good combination. I haven't seen those any other, but that was one of the things that I think I remember only my family making. I've seen other examples of it, but now I guess the internet kind of ruins that now, because now you have access to everyone's holiday cookies and nothing's going to surprise you now because you've seen it all. Holding up a Christmas tree was difficult, but not holding up one was worse. A fallen Christmas tree. Yeah, when it's only those three bolts to adjust it. Yeah, sometimes the trunk can get a little off center. After the holidays, it became difficult for nutmeg to feel useful. Oh, poor nutmeg. 29th, leftover carryout began leaking exotic sauces and feared he would never see the refrigerator. Wow, I think we're out of Christmas already. Yeah, I guess after the holiday, I didn't want to keep doing it. So the rest of December is going to be Chinese food jokes. Yeah, that's it. No more Christmas. Not even the magnet inside her made her feel attractive. Yeah, those little, do they still make those? But those little things you put paper clips in and the rim is magnetic so that the paper clips will stick to the opening. And so there's always a paper clip kind of stuck to the top. But she didn't, even having a magnet inside her didn't make her feel attractive. Not even paper clips were attracted to her. All right. Okay. January 1st, 2007. Jeez. 15 years ago. She tried, actually it's going to be 16 soon, isn't it? She tried to explain to Instant Coffee that some things take time and need more than hot water. What is that a reference to? All right. It's just an instant coffee joke. Yeah, so I'm definitely, kind of the tone of the jokes and everything is definitely, I've established that, I think, by this time, because I'm already, so I had even stopped, this is interesting. Oh, no, it's still 2007. Wait, let me see if this is dated. 2005. Wow. So did I stop for a year? Yeah, interesting, because it goes from 2005 to 2007. How's the schedule? It's still every day, though. I think I might have done that because I did it for 3 years. I was like, this isn't going anywhere. And I was getting, starting to get its kind of look and tone more standardized. But then I think when it got discovered at one of the comic shows, then I wonder if I'd actually stopped doing it. That's interesting, because there is a skip there. Because these dates are based on the previous, like when I created them. So I may not have done any. I should look at my old website and see where how the files are numbered, because I wonder if I took 2006 off. Wow. So it's not actually the 20th anniversary, because I didn't do it for a constant 20 years. Yeah, interesting. I forget what happened, but that may have been it may have been a transitional time. It may have been when I moved to Japan. So that might have, oh my God, it's really that long ago? That might have been what happened. Is I had I think that is what happened, actually, because once the syndication happened, then I said, okay, I've got like 3 years of cartoons, so I can basically take a year off, and then I'll start doing the cartoons again to try to stay ahead. So I like for the syndication gave them like 3 years of cartoons. I knew I didn't have to do anything new. That's what happened. Yeah, it's the lag between syndication and then doing new cartoons. So soon it'll go from daily, maybe next year. Oh no, there we go. Yeah, in this year it's going to go to twice a week because I'd moved to Japan by then. Wow, that's the only way to remember what year I moved to Japan. So it was 2007. Yeah, because I needed time. We needed to, do everything, and I hadn't. I just been kind of working on it as I went, so I didn't have any time. But with the syndication, it was fine. So the website stopped updating, but then the syndication was sending it out. But still, people hadn't found it yet, so there was a bit of a lag. So that must have been weird if you were reading it for free on the internet. Well, this is free as well, but if you're reading it for free on the internet back then, and then I just stopped, and then it went over to Go Comics, and then I was moving to Japan. Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah. Wow. Okay. So then the months will start to go really fast. We probably do 2 months at a time after this. Yeah, I did some work. Well, I was still working when I moved to Japan. I was still doing animation work. So I was doing like this was just kind of a part-time thing, and I had ideas. I was still writing down. I still have my little diary with joke ideas. So I was still writing joke ideas down, but I was mostly doing the Flash animation at the time because I carried that over to. I worked on that my first year that I was in Japan. I was still working for the U.S. But yeah, I was didn't draw anything, but I was definitely still keeping anytime a joke or some like funny phrase or whatever popped into my head, I was still writing that down. So I had my collection of of abuse jokes. But yeah, it was a really busy year though, like a really huge, because I had to put stuff in storage and figure out what was going to come, like just those basic things like what books do I always want to have with me, what things do I want to leave and not know exactly what's going to happen, and like giving away a lot of stuff, and I had to really slim down the possessions. Oh boy. Yeah. So, wow, that timing. Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, definitely. I still drew I drew a lot more back then, yeah, than I do now. Sadly. But yeah, I was still definitely thinking about the cartoon, but just didn't have to do anything, and I knew that they were getting posted. So it was kind of like the people that already saw them had just like, had to get a year of reruns basically, and then they started new again, and then they went digital. We'll see that too as we go through this. So this was such a good idea, K5. Thank you for suggesting to go through this, because then we'll go through. So that'll be a year off. So we're going to see a difference probably between ideas and just the way I was thinking about it, and probably a lot more Japanese stuff will start to pop up because I'll start to lose the standard American inanimate objects around me, and then we'll see the switch to digital. We'll see if we can find that exact cartoon. All right, so the dreaded writing phase. Okay, so we'll just leave the Halloween donuts joke and see if people notice. Oh, maybe this is a bad one to start with. So we can do a list of so two-party systems. So this is going to be too long then. We're all as American as apple pie. We're all as American as apple pie. So do like a list of 3 things. Yeah, the pie is just kind of staring at the camera. It's not a kind of creepy. Yeah, I think this is 2 on the nose. What's another 2-party systems? Culture war. Culture wars. This is not good, not funny. 2-party systems, culture wars. And what? No, this is not going to be funny, and it's going to be too specifically pointed. So something as American as apple pie. Yeah, something about an apple pie joke. An inedible apple pie. Cold, uneaten. Yeah, it's creepy. The eyes don't look like they're looking off into the distance. They look like they're straight at the reader. Okay, something American as apple pie. Something about American pie feeling less American. Oh, that's good. Red apples is very good. That's right. Yeah, good one. Good one, Yum. Nobody at the liberal get together would ever know the apples were red. Yeah, what's a red apples? Yeah, homemade apple pie. What else? More coffee. What else? Yeah, red apples is good. If there's something blue. Or apple pie losing its patriotism, losing its wanted to file for refugee status. Let's see here. I'm just like hanging off the bottom of the screen. Or being accused of being American. Or not even oh sorry, not even knowing what that meant anymore. The apple pie. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, only neutral colors to avoid arguments. Oh, that's nice. An apple pie without a country. So homemade apple pie was at the point where it wanted to file for refugee status. As American as apple pie. Yeah, this is not a good one to start with because I don't think I had a strong one. Oh, the other one. The other one's a coffee joke. It's even worse. Yeah, go together like America and apple pie. A pie divided cannot stand. American. Oh yeah, that American Pie movie really ruined the idea of fruit pies. Yikes. Yeah, divided. Yeah, slices. Something about being cut up. Yeah, I should have done an apple pie just like cut exactly in half instead of in slices. All right. Or we could do a wealth inequality joke. uh, There's a little mistake on the shadow there. There we go. Yeah, divided. Yeah. An American apple pie would have been cut exactly in half. This must be Dutch apple. Yeah, does that work? Let's see. It's so cutting, such cutting criticism. Have only been cut exactly in half. And the two halves hated each other. Would have only been, would have been cut. Hey Joe, how's it going? Yeah, a little bit late streaming today, so I caught you in the morning. I hope I didn't wake you up early with the notification. K5 was talking about these damn notifications. The American apple pie. Yeah, so it's not cut exactly in half. So resisted. Oh yeah, maybe resisted. That's better. The American apple pie resisted the temptation. Resisted the, what is that? The tendency, the automatic. So resisted the something to be cut exactly in half. Resisted the, what is it? The compulsion? What's the, what am I thinking of? Like something that you can't control. Yeah, irresistible. Yeah, but not. Yeah, compulsion. Is there a synonym? The obligation, the coercion, duress, pressure, urge. Oh, the urge. Yeah, that's probably. Yeah, it's probably makes the most sense. Resisted the urge. I can't believe that. Oh, I've got 2 periods too. I can't believe I resisted the. I didn't hear resisted the urge as a phrase in my head. That's sad. Maybe put the on the other line. The American apple pie resisted the urge to be cut exactly in half. So the wanting to be. Yeah. Okay. Well, that's a divided America joke, kind of. Does it fit on one line? It does not. The American apple pie resisted the urge to be cut exactly in half and be painted different colors. I keep waking everybody up with my loud notifications. You gotta not set my my notifications to hockey air horn. So immediately, damn it. All right. Yes, it's not worth it. Unring that bell. Okay, the American apple pie resisted the urge to be cut exactly in half. Okay, that's good, because it's not cut in half, so it resisted. It's the good American thing. And Halloween donuts. So coffee. Oh, this is another, torn between 2 things. Ice or hot. Reported for loud notifications. His damn notifications are ruining my sleep. Coffee was divided, was torn between, was tempted to not, so non-committal, didn't want to, or didn't understand that it could be both hot and iced. The pot of coffee. I guess it's a glass coffee pot. Didn't know. No, it was possible to be both hot and iced. I don't know. What's another one of those exactly one line? Pot of coffee didn't know it was possible. Couldn't conceive of hot and cool. Yeah, what's the... Well, now I'm up. Yeah, very good. Yum. All right. Yeah, hot and cool. Yes. Yeah, yeah, because I did ice cubes, so um, iced coffee. Or couldn't commit, couldn't decide, didn't understand that you could. Yeah, so I want. Yeah, didn't understand you could be both. I think is the idea, but that's not quite funny. Um, both hot and iced. Oh, did Yum have to go? Is that good night for a good night? Because yeah, probably is getting very late. The late night stream. Yeah, pot of coffee didn't know it was possible to be both hot and iced. Yeah, I guess that's as close to the idea as possible. Thought he had to choose is the joke, but oh, okay, five. Oh, that's right. K5 had to get going. That's right. Oh, sorry, I missed that. I'm yeah, totally missing it. Oh, yeah, keeping everybody up late. Yeah, we didn't get to see Matt at all because I'm way past Matt's time to be online. All right. Okay, so the yeah, coffee didn't know it was possible to be both hot and iced and hot, maybe, and hot. So let's do the other order. I don't know. I think that's as good as that's gonna get. Making a decision, couldn't commit. Yeah, I think that's gonna work. Oh, so had both. Oh, yeah, yeah. So just doing both. Wanted to be both, but didn't know if it was allowed, if it was possible. I didn't know. Yeah, didn't know it was possible. Yeah, it was physically possible. I guess that's close enough. Yeah, because it could be read as physically possible, which is the only other funny part of the joke. You could be made iced coffee. Oh, I should put some coffee or something in that filter. It doesn't even look like a filter. I don't know. Yeah, it should have more of that angle, but it's kind of straight on. It looks like a weird cup. All right. To be both. Didn't know it was possible. Yeah, we'll leave it as possible, as in physically possible. So the pot of coffee didn't know it was possible to be both hot and iced. It's not insanely good, but it didn't even make me smirk. The American pie resisted the urge to be cut exactly in half. Take that, America. Wow, man, once I post this apple pie cartoon, the whole system's going to have to rethink what they're doing. All right. Oh, wait, come on. Yeah, I don't know what it is. My mouse or something tonight is not working well. Okay. To be cut exactly in half. I should have put one of those little toothpick flags on the piece. But that's already divisive divisive. Because patriotism is a dirty word now. Oh man. Yikes. Yeah, right. Yeah, I mean, I guess that's America always does that. They always by the midterm everyone's pissed at the current president, so they're trying to vote in the other party. Like that's going to fix anything. Like it's not just the same people. I'm so tired of hearing, not to get like super political, but I'm so tired of hearing like the careers of these appointees and these cabinet members and stuff, people that are appointed to different positions. They're not elected, they're appointed to different positions. And they've worked for, the Bush administration, the Clinton administration, like they've worked for back and forth between all sorts of parties. It's like, yeah, it's just the same bunch of crooks that you don't elect. You think you elect somebody, and then they just move somebody over from the George W. Bush era to continue their international schemes. Okay. Wow. Yeah, this is gonna be the last few 2022 cartoons. Yeah, but that's not very useful to the they're both both parties are broken and useless. Like needs to be some sort of working system. We have to have some sort of faith in it. Yeah, that's the frustrating part. And that's what a lot of the current political people that I talked to recently, their whole attitude is just like, yeah, just destroy take down everything, destroy the system, start again. It's like, that's not an option. It's like, yeah, even though America's not a very old country, it's already established. You're not gonna from the ground up rebuild how politics works here. I don't know, but I think that's the best, and we've got one of the better ways of dealing with. Although it doesn't seem to be working that very well anymore. The past couple of decades haven't been great, but the ability to just, terms are short, and just get them out of there and get somebody else in, and maybe the same sort of incompetence or corruption or whatever, but you get another chance, and maybe someone will nationalize healthcare, or maybe someone will fix the roads. But compared to how slow, I mean, just the little bit that I know of how things in Japan are working, or how friends from England and stuff talk, how slow things work in parliamentary systems and stuff, it does seem good that it just should be there. There are lengths of, or I guess just term limits in general. They should just be reinforcing much more, so you don't have these 80-year-old politicians that have served, or somebody like Biden that's been in the government his whole life. That's not a good. It's a good president for some people because he owes a lot of favors, but that's not. I don't think good for the whole. I don't think it's good for the country to have such a what's it called? Spent, obligated, kind of controlled, individual as a president. It's useful for the system, but bad for the people. All right, enough politics. Let's have chocolate dinosaur eggs. Oh, Joe's saying it's not about the people that are they're all there for conspiracies and still think about stolen. Yeah. Especially, yeah, that's true. Well, and the thing that I think is interesting about how they're, you have to keep people believing that elections are still working and they've always been manipulated. There's always, and that's why the systems are so like weirdly complicated from state to state, is because it's so weird and indecipherable that you can't cheat on such a huge scale, because everyone's weird election systems from state to state are so strange. But I definitely think, conspiracy wise, that there was and I don't disagree with this, but there was a conspiracy to get Trump the hell out of the government, because it had turned, like towards the end of his term, it had turned into such a situation where his own party was just like, we got to get him out. I mean, he was useful to be able to barrel through that election in 2016 and to clear out all of the Republican candidates. But I think he like ran out of usefulness, and so the whole system just said, we're getting him out of here. So it's not a conspiracy, it was just the the body rejecting the American government rejecting a foreign body. It was just like, yeah, you're not one of us. And he had no protection. Obviously he didn't have enough political influence once the Republican Party stepped away from him, and so the court system just chewed him up. He had no recourse. So it's I don't think we're going to see that again. And hopefully there's not going to be another cartoon character getting into office again like that. All right. Convenience store. Oh. Where is that? So if you missed last week, see, I don't turn this off here. Is it? No. This one? No. There it is. Boom. So this was a promotion that Lawson was doing, and I was only able to find a couple of them, but you can see on the the stream from last week. But they're doing strange items that you can test, items that they want your opinions on, and one of them was a candy that tastes like nothing, so a flavorless candy. So I wanted to give that a try, but I couldn't find it. So they were only around for a little over a week, almost 2 weeks. But I think a lot of it sold out, especially candy that tastes like nothing. Very tempting. All right, so here we go. So I found these, and I guess these are they're kind of our promotion for like a kid's book. So I don't think it's like an animation or anything. I think it's just literally like a kid's book. Bum, bum, bum. Oh, my light is too far back now. There's my light. That's why I'm always out of the light. But it's dragon. So strongest king of the dragons. So this is basically like a Kinder egg. A Kinder egg with a dragon in it. I'm curious if you have to put it together or not. So Kinder eggs, and I think because they made the mistake of coming to North America, used to be really fun because the toy inside you had to kind of put together, and it was a little bit complicated and interesting. And I think some American kids ate all the pieces inside the Kinder egg, and then they changed them to just a single hard like plastic toy inside. But here's a Japanese version of one of these egg things that it will never be exported because it's supporting a Japanese language kids book. So we will get to see, a little bit smaller, than a Kinder egg, but we'll see if it's an actual dragon you put together, or if it's just a solid piece of plastic, and how good the chocolate is. That's the one thing I'm worried about. I love Kinder egg chocolate, that black, the milk and the kind of creamy chocolate. Like the outside is milk chocolate, the inside is some kind of white chocolate. Oh, it looks very similar, as you can see. Yeah, so this is just chocolate egg. Yeah, it just says chocolate egg. As you can see, it's very similar to hold it back here, to a Kinder egg, where it has that seam, so you can kind of pop it. If you squeeze it, you can pop it at that seam. If I remember oh no, you can't. Oh yeah, there you go. If I remember, it's very similar. So it has that same white on the inside, milk chocolate on the outside. So let's find out how it tastes, though. It's okay. It's that super sweet kids chocolate. So it's okay. I think the Kinder egg chocolate is actually a little bit better. This is that really cheesy kids super sweet chocolate, kind of like Easter bunnies and stuff. The stuff that chocolate Easter bunnies are made out of. Yeah, it's okay. Super sweet though. Wow. Maybe the inside is making it extra sweet. So I'm trying to wipe all the crud, the chocolate remains of this capsule. So it's a bit smaller than like what's inside a Kinder Egg. Oh, and it's totally keying out because it's green. Sorry. It's a green capsule. They didn't tell me. Well, let's find out what exactly is inside. Oh, it's just a one-piece toy. No little... I was hoping for a little sprue or something. Oh, it's kind of... Oh, it's rubbery, too. And it's keying out as well. Great. Everything has to be green. God damn. So it's a little rubbery. You can see its silhouette. Here, I'll hold it. Yeah, see the silhouette of it if I hold it over my face. It's like a kind of a Chinese, like a long serpent-like Chinese dragon. And it's very rubbery. But because it's rubbery and it's been in an egg, it's kind of got an unnatural... It's kind of bent over a little bit. So maybe some hot water could get it back to a better form. But a rubber toy is not a great idea to cram inside a little capsule. That's too bad. And I guess if a kid ate this, it probably wouldn't kill him. But it's a cute design. It's a very cool, very cool kind of design. But that's weird. They're rubber. That's too bad. So one-piece rubber toys. Oh, but they give you the specs. I don't know what these graphs are called, or these little diagrams, but they love these in Japan, where you put certain aspects or qualities as points on like a pentagram or a hexagon or a octagon or something. So each one of these data points is a point on the sorry on the shape. And then based on how strong it is in something. So visually, you can kind of see things have different shapes. So if it's fast or strong or whatever, you can kind of see how it's shaped. So I've seen kids' report cards and stuff in Japan have these same little weird graphs on them to kind of show where they're powerful. So here's the specs for this dragon. Oh my. Yeah, this is not great. The illustrations are much nicer than the actual toys. That's too bad. So they've kind of given up. I thought for sure Japan might still, have some little, because a lot of the capsule toys, you still have to build those. They don't come, if it's a kind of a complicated, like little diorama or something, you still have to build it. So I was hoping that the egg toys would be a little bit like that, but they're green and keying out. And then they have all of the, you can't see any of these because of the light. But you have the little battles between the different dragons. So I guess your brackets. Oh, and you can mark. You can mark the winner. There's little check boxes. Kids and dragons. So dinosaurs are very popular here. So I think they're trying to take the kind of dinosaur popularity and make it a dragon story. That's too bad. Yeah, but this is kind of a kind of water spirit dragon. It's funny though, because how dinosaurs are portrayed and then how Asian dragons are portrayed is very different. But they've kind of, in Japan, they've kind of merged the two. Yeah, definitely. Putting the toy together was a big part of the fun, and seeing how like intricate the design was and stuff. So now that it's just a little pre-made thing, it's kind of meaningless. And with the chocolate being so horrible, there's almost no benefit. So I was hoping against hope, but it may just be the company too. It's the Furuta. Maybe they don't do anything too complicated. But I'll keep an eye out for a candy that actually does it. They do have blind box toys at the convenience store. I just haven't, because they're not food. I haven't gotten any of those. But there are a lot of Gundam models and different promotion for different anime, mostly robots. But those, in a lot of cases, you have to assemble, even if it's just like, putting the arms and legs on a torso. But yeah, that's too bad. I was hoping a little bit more interesting dragon, and yeah, it being in an egg does not help its pose at all. Very strange. I got so excited though, that little capsule inside chocolate. Yeah, there's too many of the like Kinder Egg, just too many licensing deals with like Disney and stuff, or like Minions and things. So it's too bad. Well, not a winner this week, and I don't think I need any more of that chocolate. It's that crazy sweet kids style chocolate. I'm surprising, which is surprising because usually they tone it down. Japanese companies tone it down, but this is obviously strictly for kids. So yeah, I don't think they, I think anybody my age is going to be trying to eat one of these things. Well, too bad. So the versus King of Dragons, strongest King of Dragons, is not not something we're messing with. I was trying to do something different and unique, and we're at the end of fall, so all the pumpkin and sweet potato stuff is kind of coming to an end. So Christmas will start soon, as far as like, yeah, silly Christmas based stuff. So we'll see if I can find anything more interesting. So okay, so to redeem this segment, here we go. To redeem this segment, this was part of the big display for Pocky Day. So the November 11th is Pocky Day. So here we go. So I grabbed one of these because it looked. Oh, but there was, yeah, on the boxes there's no reference to the holiday, is there? No. But, and I'm sure, I mean, these are available in the U.S. and all over the world, so nobody has not seen Pocky before. But these are the good ones with the almonds in them. So almond crunch. So in pre-celebration, on the eve of Pocky Day, we will have see they always tell you how to open it, and it's always better than my initial attempt. All right. And the nicer ones are always in these like really heavy bags too, I guess, to keep them from cracking. Oh, look at that. So yeah, these are just, if you haven't seen these before, this is a big Japanese export, but it's a little baked cookie stick that they dip in chocolate, sometimes milk chocolate or strawberry, or all kinds of flavors, green tea or just white chocolate. So a lot of fruit flavors and things, and they theme them different ways. But when they put nuts or something on them, they actually have some flavor. So, oh yeah. Oh, wonderful. See, that's the chocolate that you want, that sweetness of chocolate. Obviously, these are made for a wider audience. Yes, that's right, Joe. That's right. The fusion of dinosaur and dragon. So, I know I talked about this early on in the stream. This Pocky was one of the first things that I tried. But there's a lot of stick snacks in Japan. And the thinking is because you look very cute. I don't look very cute, but you look very cute eating a stick snack. And if you've ever noticed, unless it's a character that's supposed to look crazy or young, like immature, like a child, if you're supposed to be pretty in anime or manga, the mouth is usually drawn very small, and small mouth is very attractive and pretty. So you can have a very small mouth while eating this snack, so you don't have to open your mouth wide or take any big bites. So the way the kind of stereotype of people covering their mouths when they laugh or smile too much. So that's the thing. That's a kind of a weird. It's a modesty thing, but also the attractiveness of not having, not showing teeth and not having a big open mouth is part of why. So there's a lot of cracker sticks and snack sticks that are just, you could eat them with a very barely open mouth. And Japanese mostly is spoken with a very very little mouth movement. So that's why it's hard to get a lot of Japanese students to speak English well, because they don't want to move their mouth. They think it's very ugly. And for a lot of languages, you have to learn first how to kind of hold your mouth and what to do to make the right sounds, and they don't want to do that. So they just want to make very minimal mouth movements because that's very modest in Japanese. But the so a lot of stick snacks are like appropriately modest. It's funny though, they've figured out culturally they wanted to do that because this is a very hard thing to keep from being broken, kind of like a potato chip, in packaging and everything, you have to make a lot of, they can't just have these loose in bags on a shelf because they would all be smashed instantly. They would all be broken in half. So they have to do bags within pretty rigid boxes to keep everything from being totally shattered, and probably make the sticks a little harder just to prevent breakage. And maybe that was part of the coating too. Kissy, yeah, right. A cute kissy face when you eat it. But always, the modest eating and everything is very cute. Yeah, so there we go. So that's a huge. Oh, I should have put this hashtag in my notification. I didn't know if I was going to get around to these or not. Hashtag with Pocky. So we are hashtag with Pocky right now. Yeah, but a sweet little like puckered kiss face. And, you'll notice even like the Maiko and geisha style is so white out the face and then just reduce the features to a very small lip. So what's funny is a lot of Western like makeup styles, they'll draw a lip line over and outside the actual lips to enhance the lips and make them look bigger. Though for a lot of like the traditional kind of, Edo period, like, geisha style makeup, they actually draw the lip line inside the actual line of the lips so that it looks smaller and more modest. So yeah, it's a funny thing. But yeah, these are always good. These are always reliably good. I don't think I've had, and they don't do like weird flavors like spaghetti and meatballs or whatever. They don't do any weird flavors for Pocky. So they're always reliably good. So especially when they do the more premium stuff. So yeah, crunchy almonds on the outside of these is brilliant idea. So very good, and good with the coffee that I have left over. All right, so we redeemed it. We redeemed this segment. All right, back to the drawing board. Yeah, right. Yeah, I noticed that a lot. Like especially my grandmother's generation. I think, like Lucille Ball from like I Love Lucy, she famously had that. She would draw the bows of her lip line like way over her actual lips, because a lot of white women, especially when they age, their lips get really thin, and that's less desirable. And also, it's just a sign of age. And it's funny though too. Asian women with really full lips. There's a I can't think of the Japanese word, but it's kind of like fish lips, like fish face, fish lips. There's a negative, derogative thing to call a woman whose lips are too big. But in the West, people are on the lip injections and everything, so there isn't really, I guess it eventually, to a certain extent, like a very, especially if you did some like vacuum suction thing to swell your lips artificially, it's not, it's always a more feminine look or more positive look, but there's a line here. And you'll notice a lot of magazine models and stuff in Japan. If you ever see Japanese fashion magazines, very modest, kind of small mouths and thin lips. So they don't like the big full lipped girls as well. And maybe because it's too suggestive or too sexual, because those girls are popular in, Japanese AV, Japanese porn, but not in fashion. So they want the more modest looking girls. Yeah, so very interesting. Yes, the West loves the DSLs, and that might be it, is that it just is too provocative. It like invokes the, you're thinking about something you shouldn't be thinking about. So yeah, DSLs are a Western thing. Yes. I loved when that was one of the early versions of internet you could have. If you wanted like always on internet, you could have cable or DSL. Nice. Yeah. Yeah, it does. It does look like, it does look a little delusional, like that drawing your lips outside of your actual shape of your lips. That old American style does look like, you're kind of crazy. It just, I imagine just someone like, like fisting holding the lipstick and just like drawing on their face and looking in a mirror delusionally. That's the image of going too crazy with the lip shape. Yeah, well, that's very funny that how common a style that was. Yeah, but it's funny. It's funny the snacks have such cultural baggage. Oh, good stuff. Well, I'm glad the chocolate drag. I knew it was a gamble. I knew there was a chance it was going to be a cheap piece of garbage, but Pocky didn't let me down. So get yourself some Pocky for November 11th so you can celebrate with the entire world. I'm really surprised, though. I think, though, the company that does Pocky, Glico is what it looks like. Guriko is how they say it in Japan. I think they're kind of an international. They're getting like big like like Nabisco and stuff. So I think they have a lot of international distribution. So that's why you can find Pocky around at places, a lot of places outside Japan, because I know all over Asia they have distribution. So they probably have also done that with North America and probably Europe. It's a huge company. I forget the parent company of that, but it's monstrous, but it's good. So people can try all the snacks they see in anime. All right. Well, I think that's going to do it. I had a delicious almond. Oh, it's almond crush. Oh, like crushed almonds. Almond crush Pocky. And we'll be back to do this next week. So you keep all of your your American and Australian and all your Western DSLs nice and plump, and we'll stay modest and thin-lipped over here in Japan. Yeah, that's right. There is a lipstick scene. The mother in Wild at Heart, doing that. Am I pretty now, mommy? Kind of lipstick. Oh, but that's right. She covers her whole face. That's right. Because she starts doing that, and then they cut away, and then they cut back, and she's covered in lipstick, like her whole face and everything. She's completely covered in lipstick. That's right. I haven't seen that movie in a long time. It's a good Nicolas Cage as Elvis movie. All right. So, good night, everybody, and hope you have a good week. We'll be back and do this next time. And, I don't know what the schedule will be. It'll either be regular time or a little bit later. If this keeps being the schedule, then maybe Tuesday nights I'll do it a little bit later, because it works out okay this way. But, yes. And Willem Dafoe, he's in that, right? Yeah, he's a villain in the second half of that. Yeah, he is brutal. Oh, that's right, because he forces Sailor to rob someplace. So they have that scene with pantyhose over their heads. All right, enough Wild at Heart. So everybody, take care. Abusecartoons.com is the website, and gocomics.com/domestic abuse is that archive that we looked at the comments, so you can read all of the old cartoons. And Abuse Cartoons on social media, if you want to get notifications, other than YouTube and Twitch. So this stream will be archived on both YouTube and Twitch if you want to watch. Replay, you can read all of your chat comments again. And we'll be back again to do this next week. Oh, and patreon.com/abusecartoons if you want to support the cartoon and my all but abandoned dream of making it a daily cartoon again. So take care, everyone. Yeah, spoilers. Oh, spoilers. And we'll talk again soon. So take care and have a good week. Bye-bye.
Bye.